Do you know that I had to wait a little? Everything that happened in Brazil, and also look at the comment that John Elkann made, saw the replies both Lewis and Charles Leclerc gave, and I was like, this is a problem Ferrari knew they had, and Ferrari are trying to cover their own tracks. One, the president of Ferrari, John Elkann, has the right to say what he said. But having the right to say what you said doesn't mean you're right. Because you have a right to talk does not mean you're right. And you condemning the drivers and praising the mechanics, the people on the back end, I think that is the most ungrateful thing you have done. The car is meant to perform on the track. Yes, the car is not meant to perform in the workshop. The car is not meant to perform on your computer. It's not meant to perform on the simulator. The reality is the car is meant to perform on the track. When Ferrari started that project 677, I was skeptical about it, and for me I was like, this might not be a project that will work for Ferrari. But hey, everybody was highly anticipating it, and we anticipated, and we got to the real car. We saw that from the get-go, from the first race, that car was a crap. That car was filled with rubbish. That car cannot perform or deliver. Oh, we had a glimmer of hope when we got to China. Lewis Hamilton won the sprint race. Then came the main race. We didn't see him really. He did some good job, himself and his teammates. They got into points, but unfortunately, they got disqualified. Double disqualification, and everybody was like, what happened? Oh, then we knew they got the car too low, and the plank wear issue started. The brake overheating started. Then when you increase the car at any level, the car still overheats. You've been driving a car from the beginning of the season. You are playing lift and coast for a car you just designed. John Elkann, I have never thought he would not put himself in the shoes of the driver. That you are driving a car in a race, you are managing tires, you are managing the car so that the car will not overheat the brakes, so that the car will not wear the plank underneath, and you expect the drivers to be magicians. I keep wondering what these people that carry papers and times things. Now, you said the mechanics have done a good job. Yes, they've done a good job to improve the car, but yet the car is not improved. That's the truth. That car is not improved. They've tried to improve the car, it has not improved. The only battle or the only victory Ferrari is winning, apart from the work in F1, is pit stop. And they've stopped even winning it for over 10 races. They've not had any fastest pit stop in the last 10 races. Now, if they are doing a terrific job, we expect them to be tearing the car apart, setting it up over again, like what Red Bull did in the last race. They tore the car apart, changed the engine, did everything to make sure Max Verstappen got on the podium. But Ferrari is not doing that. The only thing Ferrari knows how to do is to complain, blame the drivers. They are not driving well. You have two of the best top 4 drivers in F1 in your team, and the only thing you can come out to say is to condemn them. Yes, you can condemn, but he who is without a sin should cast a stone. I think John Elkann and the management should look at themselves and say, are they sure that they are not the one slowing the progress of the team down? If they had continued with the progression they had last year without building a new car, Lewis Hamilton would have gotten the car maybe later in the middle of the season after a lot of tries, and they would have improved because that car was getting better. But they started all over again. Some people say, oh, it's because they have double DNF. The DNF for Charles Leclerc was not his fault. Yes, I agree. The DNF for Lewis Hamilton too was not his fault. Colapinto, go and check his races. He moves on braking. He moved on the braking. I don't know what everybody was looking at. I don't even know what the stewards were looking at. That guy moved on braking. That was why Lewis Hamilton rammed into him. Immediately he moved. He was trying to overtake him. He moved. He giggled on braking, and that was it. He went straight into him, destroyed his own front wings, and that was the end of the race for him. But hold on, you are still blaming Lewis Hamilton for going into his back. Oh Christ. I think the people that should be blamed are the leadership, the mechanics, the designers, and the team. See, for me, I don't blame the mechanics, the designers of the car, the board, and everybody. Because the first thing I think Ferrari should do is move that base, that stupid base they capitalize on, move it to England, where the whole technology is. We have about 8 teams in England working. Technological transfer is just outstanding. That was the reason why Andre Newey refused to work with Ferrari, was because Ferrari were not ready to move their base to England. He cannot go to Maranello because of the cross culture. That guy already knew what will happen. He knew that it would be difficult for him to change the team. Look at what he's doing with Aston Martin. Those that he does not want, he told them go. That was what Andre Newey is doing. I don't want you. You can't work with me. I need people that I can work with. That's how it is. If you change your pace, there are some things that you put down. It will be difficult for Lewis Hamilton to say some of these guys are not truthful. Some of these guys are just here to eat money. Some of these guys do not even like this team because they are all in Italy. There are things that will be difficult for him to say. There are changes that will be difficult. Imagine Charles Leclerc saying that there are some things that Lewis Hamilton is saying that he had wanted to say. Some he had complained about, but because they are not ready to change. Now Ferrari's president is complaining. How can you succeed when you are an enemy of change as a team? I don't get it. Seriously, I don't get it. How do they want to succeed? Except they change their approach, they change their philosophy, they change their reason for winning. So if the president of Ferrari comes out and say all the things he said and is not ashamed of himself, I think John Elkann need to look at himself in the mirror and be ashamed, and he needs to apologize to the drivers because those guys are working their ass out. The team principal is doing his best to make sure there's a balance. If anybody should talk, I think it's the team principal that should talk. The problem is the drivers need to say what they feel because they've been complaining, and for them going into a race like that and coming out with double DNF, who will be happy now? Common sense, who will be happy? And this is a team that is not even fighting for their driver. They are expecting a penalty from the beginning. That shows the mentality of that team. A team that cannot fight for the driver. Look at what happened in Mexico. Look at what happened here in this race in Brazil. It's just similar. It shows that that team is a weak team. They cannot say the truth to themselves, and it starts from the top. Ferrari needs to get their hands together. John Elkann needs to go back to the factory, call the team and apologize, because I think that is what he needs to do. He needs to apologize to those drivers and tell himself the truth, because without telling himself the truth, I think it will be very difficult to build trust in that team. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Yeah, bye.